Welcome to lesson 6.73, Exponents and Writing Decimals as Fractions Part 2. Our objective is that we can write the prime factorization of a number using exponents. Since lesson 38, we've used the exponent 2 to represent a number that's multiplied by itself. So for instance, 5 to the second power is 5 times 5, and 5 with a third exponent is 5 times 5 times 5. 5 to the fourth power is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, that same sort of thing. Here's just kind of an overview, just kind of a reminder. We read this guy as 5 squared because we use it when we're working with squares of area, or we read it as 5 to the second power. This guy right here, we read that as 10 cubed because when we work with volume, that's in things to the third power, and we break up our volume into little cubes, and so that's kind of why we say that. So we also read it as 10 to the third power. Then this guy is, of course, 3 to the fourth power, and this one is 2 to the fifth power. So let's try one together. Which one is bigger, 3 to the fourth or 4 to the third? First thing I'm going to do is my order of operations, right? I've got my PEMDAS here. Let's make that S actually look good. That PEMDAS means I start with my parentheses, and then I do my exponents, and then my multiplication and division, and then my addition and subtraction. So I need to work with my exponents first. So 3 to the fourth power means that I'm going to be multiplying by 3 4 times. 4 to the third power means I'm going to be multiplying by 4 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Well, I know what 3 times 3 is. That's 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so we'll see which one's bigger. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So which one's bigger, 81 or 64? Well, 81's bigger. So 3 to the fourth is bigger than 4 to the third. Huh, interesting. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, now that you've tried it on your own, let's do it together. Which one is bigger, 4 to the fifth or 5 to the fourth? So 4 to the fifth is 4 multiplied 5 times. Let's see, 16 times 4. And 5 to the fourth is 5 multiplied 4 times. 5 times 5 is 25, 5 times 5 is 25, and I can multiply those guys together. So now let's start multiplying everything together. 16 times 4 is 1024. 25 times 25 is 625. Huh. 10,024 is bigger than 6,025, or 625. Interesting. Let's try this one together. Write the prime factorization of 1,000 using exponents to group factors. So we've done these before a few times in class. I want two numbers that multiply to give me 1,000. How about 100 times 10? That'll give me 1,000. Then I can break these guys up. 10 is 2 times 5, and those are prime numbers, so I'm going to circle them. I can't break either of those numbers up anymore. 100 is 10 times 10. And I've got some primes here. So now we can use exponents to simplify the way that we write our prime factorization. Let's count our number of 2's. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be multiplying by 3 2's. So I'm going to write that as a power. I'm going to write 2 to the third power. And 5 times 5 times 5, that's 5 to the third power. So 1,000 is 2 to the third times 5 to the third. And we're done. Go ahead and pause the video and find the prime factorization of 40. Now that you've done that, let's do it together. So 40, the only one I remember is 5 times 8. 5 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it and I'm done. 8 is 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2. The cool thing about these is even if you choose different numbers to multiply by, we should get the same prime factorization at the end. I have 3 2's and I have 1 5. We just sort of assume that there's a hidden 1 up there. So I'm not going to leave it when I write my answer, but it's 2 to the third times 5. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Now that you've done it on your own, let's do it together. 100 minus 10 squared. Well, 10 squared, by our PEMDAS, right? Our PEMDAS. So we need to do all of our exponents before we do our multiplication or our addition and subtraction. So I'm going to simplify my exponent into 10 times 10. Next is my multiplication and division. So I'm going to do that. 10 times 10 is 100. Now I can do my addition and subtraction. 100 minus 100 is 0. So you should have gotten 0. We try 3. Let's do this one together. Let's write 0.5 as a reduced fraction. So another way of saying this is that I have 5 tenths. Since I have one decimal place, one place after the decimal, that means I'm over 10. So I write it as a fraction over 10, and now I just need to reduce. I can divide the top by 5 and the bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. That should give me 1/2. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Pause the video and I'll see you in a second. Now that you've tried it on your own, let's do it together. So let's write 3.75 as a reduced mixed number. So I'm going to split these off into their own things. I have 3 wholes. So that's eventually going to be just a whole number out in front of my mixed number. And then I have this 0.75. And this means I have 2 decimal places after the decimal, which means that I'm going to take this and turn it into 75 hundredths. Now I just need to simplify that down. I can take a 25 out of the top and bottom, and that'll give me 3/4, and then I can add them together. That'll give me 3 3/4. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.